Primes is a card game with an original concept and looking totally different from an average card game. It's fascinating, absorbing, challenging, with just that extra little spark. A special mark of posthumous honor goes to my father, Johannes Pelsichs, who created this concept at the age of 87. This is what you need to play Primes. You can play this game with 2, 3 or 4 players. The backside of each card is the same. The word Primes is written centrally. The front of the card game consists of 54 playing cards, including the 13 prime numbers between 10 and 60. 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31, 37, 41, 43, 47, 53 and 59, in 4 different colors: green, blue, red and black. There are also 2 jokers. The 2 jokers can be substituted for one of the 52 prime numbers. A prime number is a number that is divisible only by 1 and by itself. The primes indicated on the playing cards point out the importance of the color. Green has 4 primes, blue has 3 primes, red has 2 primes and black has 1 prime. A combination list. Present in the card box. A4 sized piece of paper. The main purpose of primes is to win the game. You can do this by forming the strongest possible combination after 3 rounds and by showing this combination to your fellow players. If you don't feel comfortable about looking for a strong combination by yourself, you can make use of this combination list to help you along. Using the list is only allowed after mutual agreement. The combo gives you an overview of sorts, name and weighing of the possible combinations. For instance, the combination 4 is a combination of fittings cards, which we call a quad, meaning it has 4 different colors, or a quad plus, meaning they have all the same color. And their weighing is respectively 20 or 25 points. We will elaborately discuss the way in which you can form combinations later on. Primes Plus is the strongest combination, or series, that you can form. A series consists of 7 fitting prime numbers in the same color, and its weight is 60 points. You can find the combo enclosed as a card in a card box. The scorecard. The scorecard is used to jot down the results of each game and to keep the score. The winner of the game wins the total amount of the loss of all the other players combined. Every player starts with a bonus of 499 points. After 8 games, the final winner is announced. This is or are the player or players with more than 499 points. You can find the scorecard enclosed as a card in the card box. You can exchange when you lose or receive when you win the coins if you dispose of a package of primes coins. The starting amount of 499 points consists of 9 coins of 1, 10 coins of 5, 7 coins of 20 and 6 coins of 50. The payment is settled at the end of each game. Summarized, you can play primes with 2, 3 or 4 players. The ultimate goal, after 8 games, is to win by having more than a starting amount of 499 points. The only way to win the game is by forming and showing a stronger series than the ones of your fellow players. We will come back to this later on when the course of the game and the forming of combinations is discussed. Each player receives 7 playing cards, one by one, not visible to the other players. The remaining cards are placed upside down in the middle of the table. The top card is placed visibly next to the deck of cards. Every game consists of 3 rounds. Round 1. The divider starts. One by one, each player takes 1 card from the pack or a visible card next to the deck of cards. The player arranges the card in such a way that he is able to build out a strong combination. The player discards the least favorable card for his own combination and puts this card visibly next to the pack on top of an already discarded card. Every player takes this step. Round 2. This round has more or less the same course as round 1. After picking up a card, a player can now put down a series of cards, visible for the other players. We will discuss how to form a combination later on. Again, every player discards of one playing card. The role of the joker will be explained in Prime's calculation. Round 3. The player is now allowed to, after picking up a card, expand his series further or to lay down an additional combination. However, only the strongest series will count when determining the final score. When expanding and completing an already existing series, make sure to do so without showing the cards to the fellow players. After the combinations of all players are formed, whether or not visibly, every player now lays down his formed series and the remaining cards that were not used to form a combination. The winner is the player with the strongest series or combo. The final score of the winner consists of the sum of the loss of the other players. The result is noted on the scorecard or paid by using the Prime's coins. The cards are now collected, shuffled and divided again. After 8 games, the final winners and losers are announced. How do you form a good combination? In a standard way, you try to form a series of 3, called a tribal, 4, called a quad, 5, called a quint, 6, called a pump, or 7, called a primes, cards around to a certain pattern during the course of the game. The bigger the series, the higher the weight of the combination. Example 1. You are in possession of the following cards after having picked up one card. Red 11, green 59, black 47, blue 11, blue 37, red 13, black 17, and green 31. You can now form the following series: 11, 13, 17. And for this reason. The difference between 11 and 13 in climbing order is 2. To obtain a combination of 3, or a tribal, the card following 13 should be an increase of 2 plus 2, and an existing prime number, in this case 17. You could expand this series in the following round by adding 23, meaning 17 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, which then forms a quad. You can make a quint if you complete your series with 31, or 23 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. After completing the series, you discard one card. Example 2 shows how you can make different combinations and that you are free to make that choice for yourself. We continue this example. In the following round, the player picks up more cards. You can now form the following series. You will probably choose the series consisting of 5 cards, called the quint. Please note, 13, 13, 13 is also a possible combination because 13 plus 0 results in 13 plus 0 plus 0, which again is 13. There are 2 extra combinations besides the standard combinations tribal, quad, quint, pump and primes. Limbo is a tribal, or a combination of 3 cards, plus 2 similar cards added to the highest card of a tribal. Mambe is a quad, or a combination of 4 cards, plus 3 identical cards added to the highest card of a quad. The heaviest combination is primes plus, which is a series of 7 successive cards in the same color. For instance, in green, 17, 19, 23, 29, 37, 47, and 59. The different combinations, names, and their weight can be found in the appendix of every card game. The trumps of every player, besides luck, are attentiveness, slyness, and spirit. These assets can help you form the strongest possible series that will lead you to winning the game or that will limit the weight of your loss. We calculate the score at the end of each game by means of the following 2 examples. we use the appendix combo to calculate the score. Example 1. Player 1 has a tribal. Green 43, red 43, black 43, and 4 cards that weren't used. Player 2 has a pump plus. All cards of the formed combination are in blue. 11, 13, 17, 23, 31, and 41, and 1 card hasn't been used. Player 3 has a pump plus as well. All cards of the formed combination are in red. Player 4 has a limbo. In this case, player 2 wins. Even though player 3 had a similar series as player 2, player 3 loses because of the fact that the color of his highest cards, in this case red, is subordinate to the blue cards of player 2, because the sequence of the strength of the colors prevails over the value of the number in similar combinations. The sequence is the following. Green is the strongest, then blue, then red, and then black. Calculation of the score. Player 1. The difference between player 2's score pump plus, 50 points, and his own tribal, 5 points, is 45 points. Player 1 also holds 4 not used cards, 2 points per card, so 8 points. So that means his total loss is 45 plus 8, 53 points. Player 3, the difference between player 2's score pump plus, 50 points, and his own pump plus, 50 points, is 0. Player 2 also holds 1 non-used card, so that means his total loss is 0 plus 2, or 2 points. Player 4. The difference between player 2's pump plus, 50 points, and his own limbo, 15 points, is 35. Player 4 also holds 2 non-used cards, so that means his total loss is 35 plus 4, or 39 points. The total gain of player 2 is 53 plus 2 plus 39, or 94 points. Example 2. Player 1 has a quint plus in green. 2 remaining cards, of which 1 joker. If a joker isn't used, a player loses 5 points. Player 2 has a mambe. Player 2 didn't lay down a visible combination for his fellow players in round 2 and has 0 remaining cards. Player 3 had 0 luck. The player after 3 rounds doesn't succeed in forming a combination and thus has 7 remaining cards. Player 4 has a quad and a tribal and 0 remaining cards. Player 2 wins. Because he didn't show his combination to his fellow players in the second round, he loses 5 points to each player. This is the calculation. Player 1 has a quint, which is worth 35 points, and the difference with player 2's mambe, which is 40 points, is 5 points. Minus 1 remaining card of 2 points. Minus 1 remaining joker of 5 points. But he also receives 5 points because the winner didn't show his combination. That means it's 40 minus 35, plus 2, plus 5, minus 5. So player 1 has 7 points. Player 3 had 0 luck and therefore 0 points, compared to the 40 points of player 2's mambe. Minus 6 remaining cards is 12 points, minus 1 remaining joker of 5 points, plus 5 received points because the winner didn't show his combination, means 40 minus 0 plus 12 plus 5 minus 5, or 52 points. Player 4 had a quad, which is worth 20 points, compared to player 2's mambe, which has 40 points. Only the highest combination counts, remember? Minus 0 remaining cards and receiving 5 points because the winner didn't show his combination gives us 40 minus 20 plus 0 minus 5 equals 15 points. The total gain of player 2 is 7 plus 52 plus 15, or 74 points. Every player has the right, when it's his turn, to exchange the joker in his own combination or with another player in an already laid out combination. If he replaces the joker with a conforming card, or if the value of the original card doesn't diminish the value of the combination, or if, immediately after swapping the joker, he forms a combination or completes his already existing combination. Also important, laid out cards cannot be picked up again. If you put a card down on the table, you cannot change your mind. A miscalculation equals loss, concretely the score of 0 luck and 7 playing cards in comparison to the combination of the winner. If two combinations would score equally, this can only happen when the joker would represent the same number and color as the highest card of the combination of another player, the color of the second highest card will be counted. In the card box under the heading Rules of the Game, you can find a summarized concept of primes. Every player starts off with a starting amount of 499. See Appendix Scorecard or starting amount expressed in primes coins. The coins are divided amongst the players as follows. Each player gets 9 times 1, 10 times 5, 7 times 20, and 6 times 50, making 499 in total. The coins are not standardly included in the game, but can be ordered as an extra. The final score per player is calculated after 8 games. This score, minus the starting amount, determines the gain or loss of every player. The sum of the total score of all players should be 0. In the following example, you can find the calculation of a final ending score. The total gain minus loss ends in 0. Good luck, and now let the games begin.